Yeah, I'm proud of our guys. They did what you're supposed to do. They took a team that they were better than and dominated them, and had a slow start. So it looked like a hangover from the last 2 weeks, which is what we needed to overcome, and dominated from the second quarter really through the rest of the game. Missed a couple opportunities offensively, had a couple holding penalties, but got to play everybody from latter part of the third quarter to the end of the game. I'm really proud of Connor that he got to play in a regular offensive setting where he could make some plays and do some things. Proud of Omarion that he got 1,000 yards this early in the season. That's pretty cool. And he protects the ball so much. Drake just kept being great. Chris Culver, fun for him to get a touchdown pass at the end because he needed that. And, you can see he's fast and going to be a really good player. And really good to get a lot of the defensive guys some rest, but also play a lot of the defensive guys. Thought the kicking game was good as well, except for the one we screwed up at halftime. And that was unbelievable that kids just ran out on the field by themselves. I don't know. We should have had somebody standing there saying, no, wait. Because we were going to spike the ball. And I mean, they're gone. And then we can't find Drake. And we don't have a timeout. And Drake was trying to get back out there and spike it even with the field goal team out there. But that was just completely botched. So we messed it up. It'll help us. It'll definitely help us the last 3 weeks because somebody will be standing in front of them saying, don't go. We thought they would wait till we told them. They were excited. Questions?
Now that this game is behind you, given the last couple of weeks, did it come at a good time? Did you need this kind of game and this kind of performance?
Yeah, I can see why Larry did this now. Most of the time I think it was before the NC State game, but having an open date or a game where you're better than the other team, but you still have to play. I like their quarterback. He's really accurate. You've got a couple of really good receivers. Running back, number one, was a good player. They played hard on defense, so I thought it was a perfect time and a perfect game for us at this time.
You talked about Chris Culver getting that touchdown at the end. Kind of behind the scenes, like what are some of the things that he's been able to do to kind of make his plays, I guess, in the depth?
Yeah, that brings up Tez. So happy that Tez could get back. He practiced a little bit this week. He was a little bit sore, so we didn't know until pregame today whether he was going to play or not. And Chris was going to have to step up and take a bigger role in the game if he didn't. So that's the other reason we needed Chris out there more today, so he can help out if somebody gets hurt. And you don't want, Chris has been on all kick team, so I think he has his red shirt. He's already passed his red shirt. So you've got guys, I think Christian Hamilton, we were holding because he can still red shirt. And you can play in 4 games and still play in the bowl game. So we're having to look at right now who can redshirt, who's not, who's already lost their ability to redshirt, and they need to play more. So we're working on all that at this time. We're really proud of Chris. He's got length, he's got speed, he's tough, he loves to play. He just has to learn more about what we're doing. But he's got a chance to be really special in the future.
Following up on that just real quick, since you brought up Tez, when did you guys kind of feel that he'd be good to go for today?
About 11:58. We actually watched him in pregame, and we said if he said he was sore, we weren't going to play at all. But we also thought he needed to play because he didn't need to have the tough hit at Tech and then play against Duke without having some balls thrown in a live setting. So he's tough. He's a tough young man. And walked out there, and not only did he played really good.
Mack, I was going to ask you about Tez. Can you take yourself from where we were last week down there in Atlanta, and you guys are praying over him on the field, to he's getting in the end zone twice today? For you and maybe this team emotionally to see him bounce back in this way. It looked like maybe season ending.
Yeah, Adam, that's why I love these kids so much. They work so hard, and they're tough. And they get beaten up every day. They got school, they got girlfriend issues, they got class, they got flunk attached to you. You've got, nobody really understands how hard these guys work and how special they are and how tough they are. And for Tez to want to get back out there, he could have very well, everybody's talking about NIL and all this selfishness. We don't have that. Tez could have very well said, I'm just going to go work with the scouts and I'm through. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to hurt my draft status. He was fighting to get back and fighting to get back to playing a game he knew we were going to win anyway, because he wanted to get back out there and help his team. So that's the kind of kids these are. It's every time you want to get down over something, hang out with them. And to watch them, there's nothing better on the sideline than the players watching younger players or inexperienced players get to play. It's like a walk-on getting a scholarship. They are so happy when somebody makes a play. And that's the challenge I had for them, get the game over early enough that your buddies get to play. It's on you, man. It's not on us. And they were able to do that.
Do you really think he would have said he was sore? When he told you he was sore, do you think he would have played?
Well, one of the things was lower body, so you could see if he could run well enough or not. So that was, I think we would have known. But it's amazing he didn't have anything in here. And that's what we were so worried about.
One thing about hits too, Drake took pretty hard hit in the third quarter, got 35-7. Those are the kind of things you worry about in a game like this.
You do, but you know what? You've got to play, and you've got to get him to play some. And we were having him in there for one more series, just trying to get him some work with the guys. And they didn't have the ball the first half at all. They had, what, 18 minutes, 12? Didn't have it much. Anyway, they had about twice as much as we did. So we're trying to get him some plays. Same thing with Omari. I let him stay in one play. If he got hurt, you all could scream him, and that would have been all you were talking about. It was great for Omari. But in fact, I think it was Freddie. Somebody yelled, "What's Omari doing in there?" And I said, "I put him in." So for one more play, and I'm getting him out because I wanted him to be out there while we still had the better offensive lineman out there, more experienced.
Did you guys get your mojo back today, or is it kind of hard to tell in a game like this against an opponent?
I think we did. I thought they had fun. They got their confidence back. The defense really played well for three quarters, and I was more worried about the Campbell offense than I was their defense. I thought we'd move the ball, but their offense has got some players. And you complete 74% against air, and you're pretty good. He's number 2 in the country in the FBS, and they've done a good job. He's well coached, and he came out hot. This is the most exciting game in their history, and not for us. And that's what you worry about in these games. But he came out hot. He did a good job. They caught us on the wheel route early and on a third and long where we got a call in late. It's our fault, not the kid's fault. But I was really proud of the defense for stepping up like they did. The offense is the offense. They're pretty much the same every week.
With Omari coming into the year, it seemed like that room was pretty crowded. Maybe people thought him and British would be splitting snaps. Like you mentioned, surpasses 1,000 yards just 9 games into this year. Could you foresee something like this coming into the year with Omari? And now that it's happened, how has it kind of taken this offense to another level?
Yeah, he is. I did see that. I thought it would happen last year. And he sprained an ankle last year. We weren't as consistent up front. Our running game was different than it is right now. This is the perfect running game for him. And he's developed confidence and patience, and he's got the rare combination of power and speed. And then on one of the latter drives, he picked up on pass protection, he picked up a blitzing linebacker. So he's the whole package right now. He's one of the reasons we're so good on offense.
Do you think, follow up on that, it seemed like last year ball security was kind of an issue with him and kind of resulted in him getting benched there kind of there in the year. Through this year, no fumbles. I think that's the most in the country in terms of rushes without a fumble. What steps has he taken in that area this offseason into this year?
I think Larry Porter is one of the best running back coaches in the country. I've been with him twice now. I was with him in Texas and back here. And a lot of that's back to strength and confidence. If you're not confident, you're unsure with the ball in your hands and you're sloppy with it, just like he dropped it in the ACC championship game. It's 24. He and Drake on a mesh. And right now, he and Drake had it down, and they're going, and they're confident. And confidence is it's an unbelievable boost for people, and lack of confidence is a killer in anything you do, and especially with young people and coaches in football. I mean, if you don't have confidence, people are going to eat you up, and they're going to see it. You better walk up with good body language. You better look people in the eye. You better reach the hand out. You better shake it, and you better be strong with your answers. And if not, people will absolutely eat you up. And that's what we're trying to teach these young guys. And and no better teacher than especially after you get beat, when some people are rude to you and about you, and you have to stand up and be strong at a very young age, and that's what you learn from losing.
Mack, do you think a lot of Omarion's growth this season is attributable to British choosing to come back for another year to sort of be the leader in that room?
Yes, British is one of the best people I've ever been around, and he's a great teacher. And Omarion, as he gains confidence, he would tell you, he looks at British for everything he does. And there's no selfishness in the room. British will go in and out anytime he wants to, and British has really helped us this year as well.
Do you think Omarion's ready to sort of be the next British, once British leaves and he'll be the leader next year?
I do. It'll be interesting in that room because George Pettaway's asked a red shirt. Elijah Green's asked a red shirt. We had to play. Caleb Hood had an upper body injury today where he couldn't play. So we played his younger brother, who's a walk-on. And then Jordan Louis got in for a run. So we went from overloaded in that room to being thin. And that's what happens now when young guys decide that they want a red shirt.
Mack, what did you see out of Connor Harrell today?
I was really pleased with Connor. We told him, I thought he was uptight. He missed a read the first time he went out there. And I told Chip, we have got to play him like we're playing him in a game. He's one play away from coming in. And we've got to keep him out there. We've got to call the plays we would call when he's in the game.
Run the offense, yeah.
And run the offense. And sometimes I haven't done that in the past, and it's not been smart. It's been nice. It's not my job. My job is to get the next guy ready to play, and that's what we said today. But he made a great read on the zone read, and he's real fast. I mean, he's obviously real fast. I mean, everybody saw that. We've seen that. But he made a tremendous throw to Chris Coleman. And Chris actually caught it over the outside shoulder, so it was a tremendous play. But that should give Connor the confidence that he needs because he hadn't been out there in that setting. And there's no better setting to gain confidence than in a game like that where you're going to win, but you need to go out there and play, and now you know that you can.
Mack, can you take me inside the film room and practice defensively this week? What was said? Who stood up after Georgia Tech and coming into this game this week?
Yeah, the biggest thing is to win college football games, you got to stop the run and run the damn ball. And that's why we got a hat that says run the damn ball. And that doesn't change. And even when Georgia Tech threw for so many yards the first half, if we had stopped the run the second half, we would have still won the game. We have got to stop the run, and we have got to run the ball. You have a tendency today to just like Drake go crazy and get the score out of him, and you don't want Omarion to get beaten up, but that's not who we are. So you have to run the ball and stop the run. And I've told Coach Chiswick, if you have to put all 11 at the line of scrimmage and they throw it over our head for a touchdown, I'm okay with that. But I don't want them being able to run it every time and then throw it over our head too. You got to stop something. So we did that today in the latter three quarters.
How do you use this game as a reset defensively going into that last stretch, Duke, NC State, Clemson?
Well, the biggest thing is that you can show them where it didn't work last week because of this, and this, and it did. And Campbell tried to do exactly what Georgia Tech did. They tried to go tempo, spread you out, and run downhill. And at first, got us there in the first drive, and then after that we settled down. So that should really help us as we prepare for Duke this week.
Going back to Connor, I know that he had been seeking consistency previously. You take us back to toward the end of camp in August to now. Has he found that consistency? Are you seeing what you want to see from him every week in practice?
Yes, we've seen 2 really good weeks of practice. And I do think, and it's kind of weird, but he's different than Drake. So what we've got to do is we continue to work to find what is his offense. And then you've got to be able to work, since he is different than Drake, his offense with the blue offensive lineman. And it's a different set of plays than it is with Drake. So that's what we just keep working on to try to make sure that we get him ready when we need him, and if we need him in a game.
What are some of those differences that you see with Connor that you might have to tweak a little bit in the offense between him and Drake?
Drake is a more consistent thrower, and Connor's a lot faster. I don't want to hurt Drake's feelings, but Drake does not want to race Connor.
Sorry to cut you off, and keep going.
No, I'm good.
why didn't Drake just stay out there and spike the ball at the end of the first half? Like, how did he end up on the sideline?
I don't have any idea. I gotta find out. I don't know if somebody yelled that Toro is the word to get them all out there. I didn't hear it. No coach heard it. I was standing right next to Larry Porter. He's the one that would call it. I don't have any idea. I think what Drake did when he saw him running out, because when the clock starts, we had 9 seconds. Drake's really smart. So when he saw them running out, he said, oh, they've called Toro for my boundary, so I'm out of here. And then I even thought we had time to get Drake back out and spike the ball, even though the field goal team was out there, but we didn't. So it's when it doesn't get you beat, those things are great that they happen because you don't use it much and you practice it in practice. And that will be a great thing for us to talk about tomorrow. That we make sure if we need it in the next 3 weeks, I can assure you it will happen better.
And you had managed to cock the clock well on defense.
We had done everything perfectly until we did.
Mack, Tayon was ruled out right before the game. What point of the week did he get hurt?
He was probably Thursday when we realized he wasn't going to play, so that made us really thin. And the same with Legend. He didn't play because of I guess lower body. So we're thin. I mean, we had Caleb Cost out there in the fourth quarter playing corner. And Gene would make a call and Charlton would say, he can't do that. He wasn't in that meeting. No, don't call that. You can't do that either. And Gene finally said once, what can I call? Let's get it down to something I can do. But I was really proud. Normally you put in the young ones, you stink. And they played really good defense. They played hard. They kept people in front of them. So I was proud of it.
Got time for one more, unless we're good.
What's the deal with this team and the penalties that wipe out touchdowns?
Yeah, I'll probably get in trouble.
Okay.
I'll just say, when a flag is thrown, when a guy is, like the Georgia Tech game last year, when a guy is 40 yards down the field, it probably didn't affect the play. I'll just say that.
And I think we're good.